Hello and welcome to Bluebet Stadium, the home of the Penrith Panthers. Tonight we have the Penrith Panthers taking on the Parramatta Eels, both yet to win a Season 4 game. I'm your host, Will Kay, and I'm joined in the commentary box by Jack Cahill tonight. Jack, earlier you were down in the sheds. How are the captains feeling?
Oh, well, I got to tell you, both captains are feeling very nervous. This game could go a long way to deciding who gets the wooden spoon for Season 4. Both teams absolutely need a win here tonight, and I think it's going to be Parramatta.
There you go, Jack Carl. Sorry for mispronouncing your name just seconds ago. Has tipped the Parramatta Eels to win this game. Obviously, the Penrith Panthers haven't won a game. They've got the longest losing streak in SRL history with 11. They last won in round 5 against the Bronx in Season 2. And the first loss to actually kick off this losing streak was against the Eels in round 6, Season 2, where they lost 19-18 with the 5/8. Jaden White at the time kicking the winning field goal. The Penrith Panthers are going to be looking to put some points on here and hopefully win the first game since Season 2. As we've got Xavier Demando taking up a hit up here. And Jack, let's just talk about the lineup here from what the Panthers have gone with 8 out of 13 possible changes to the lineup. Do you think it's the right move for the Panthers?
Oh, look, I'm not going to judge before we see the game, but my first initial reaction was, no, I don't like a lot of the changes that have been made. I think Isaac Edwards is a big waste at centre. I think Brody Kennedy at 6, I'm sure he'll do a job, but I'm not 100% certain on it. And Fisher at 1, that's probably the only change that I feel comfortable with. I'm pretty sure Fisher will do a good job.
Yeah, and you spoke about Brody Kennedy moving to 5'8", and you just got to think, as we ourselves are both 5'8", what you see in Brody Kennedy, you see he is an excellent player, scoring 8 tries last season and already bagging 2 throughout this season so far. You just got to think, is this a masterstroke or is this an absolute damaging factor for the Penrith Panthers as they get an early kick here? It's going to be a big call here.
I think that kick summarized my concerns about Brody Kennedy being there. The kick went a bit sideways. Kennedy's played a lot of fullback. I don't know if he's definitely got the speed. He's definitely got the footwork to play 5'8" and take the line on. But I don't know if he's a manager. I don't know if he's a game manager. And in the SRL, we see the 6 touch the ball a lot. I just don't know if he can handle that.
Indeed. And as we look at some of these stats here, one of the most prevalent is that the Panthers haven't beaten the Eels since round 1 in the last round. Season 1 in the last round of Season 1, walking away with only a 24. In the last game, the Eels walking away with a 24-22 victory. That was the game that caused a lot of controversy as Luke Malchus through the line. Wow, the former Raiders prop has put it down to the right side of the goalposts. And there we go. The Penrith Panthers off to a very strong start indeed.
Yeah, that was very quick there from the Penrith Panthers. Parramatta made an error. They threw an intercept. Lachlan Martin snatched it up, and then Malchus, he just put a bit of the afterburners on and absolutely got around everyone. Didn't think he was that quick, but he gets the first try of the match.
Yeah, the veteran forward, Luke Malchus, he's one of the changes that we were just speaking about moments ago for the Penrith Panthers, moving into starting prop this week. And that has proven to be a good move as Mark Lee slots it over and puts 2 more points in that lead there. That was a great play from the Penrith Panthers, and the Eels will be very disappointed that they let points on this early. They'll be hard-pressed and be really panicking to get some points on. Otherwise, all sorts of trouble, and maybe the Panthers can get rid of their losing streak.
Yeah, well, I think the defense was the worrying thing there from Parramatta. They made an error about 50 meters out. They could have defended that, but Malchus just went through untouched, basically. Got tackled last minute by the fullback, but it was too late then.
Wow, as Sinclair now, with a bit of juggle there. The referee says play on. He's going to play the ball just before the 30. Kennedy to Bradford, inside ball. The Panthers getting some good meters off the start here. As Lee goes to Malchus, that man gets an offload to Bradford. Loses a little bit of ground there. Plays the ball at the 40. They're going to work an early kick. Zen Markwell kicking it on the left side. Puts it in deep. Cherry Evans taking it comfortably. And he gets a good kick return there with Mark Lee wrapping him up at the 40. Now we have Crimp taking on the line there. Michael Crimp yet to score a try in Season 4. He has been absolutely elusive last season for the Broncos, and we spoke about him last week, and we'll speak about him this week as his kick returns are absolutely deadly with how he takes on the defensive line. As Demando plays the ball, Butler, dummies right, gets an offload in the left side. Luke Short gets an offload himself. Atchison is going to play the ball. 13 out now. Atchison plays it. Demando in dummy half. Blake Harris knocks the ball on and into the hands of Ash Turner. The Penrith Panthers charging down the rookie 5'8", and they are off the hook there as Malchus goes through the line. What did you think about that, Carl?
Wow, that was some damaging attack there from Parramatta. The rookie half just couldn't put it on the boot to end the set. It was looking good. Both teams playing some good attacking footy right now, and Penrith were good enough to stop that one. Parramatta won't be too unhappy with that, but they'll need to do better next time.
Yeah, and Blake Harris, he was very, very good in the Mines season last season, scoring a fair few tries and setting up even more. And obviously last week scoring his inaugural SRL try. He said he's been a bit disappointed. I was speaking to him earlier with how he started off this season, but I think he's been a bit harsh on himself with a Parramatta side like this. It's nothing like the very, very strong side that they had in Season 1, winning that first premiership. It's just been a very tough time to get into. And I think the Panthers have recognised that and are putting a lot of pressure on him tonight. As Harris with the ball now puts in a kick down to the wing of Marshall Edwards, another rookie who gets through the line. Marshall Edwards, it's a foot race now. Cherry Evans dragging him in, can't get him into touch. This touchy screaming at him to get off him. Markwell going to Kennedy, the new 5'8", replacing the likes of Isaac Edwards. As Lee goes to Malchus, Sinclair taking the ball up now. He's at the 40, plays it. He's going to play it. Lee, Kennedy, Zen Markwell can't get around the Eels defence. They're watching that side now. Lee, Kennedy, Malchus gets trapped in behind his own player. The Eels were screaming for obstruction. Referee says play on. It's the last here. Kennedy puts in a big kick down to the wing of Thomas Mendonca. That man, Thomas Mendonca, scoring 2 tries so far for the Eels in the season with 6 career tries. Going through a bit of a drought within the interim between Season 1 and 4. As McDonald takes the ball. Anthony McDonald, not to be confused with his real-life counterpart, Alec McDonald, who plays for the Melbourne Storm. Cherry Evans with the ball, the former Cowboys player. Harris, Russell. Alistair Russell taking the ball at the 50, just before it, rather. Atchison to Anthony McDonald. Another good run. A brilliant run there from Anthony McDonald. Going to play it just before the 30, and the Eels are going to put in a kick in here as they go to Harris, who puts a kick in for Robbie Elms, who steps one, can't get away from the centre there. And that is some good defence from the Parramatta Eels. So Jack, we speak about the Penrith Panthers on their losing streak, but we haven't spoken too much about the form of the Parramatta Eels. What do you think they're thinking about getting into this game here?
Oh, look, I think if you were to summarise their season at the moment, I think the reason they've lost a few games to start, as Atchison takes an intercept there. I think the reason they've lost is because they're very inexperienced. So I think Parramatta want to just want to build experience. They will get better with time, and they're a very young side. So just looking to not make too many errors and just giving Penrith a good crack.
Yeah, so far in season 4, sorry, Eels lost in the first game against the Warriors 36-16. And then last round, they lost just by 2 points, 12-14 against the Rabbitohs. A bit hard done by to lose that game there. But they'll be wanting to flip the switch in this game, especially against a team like the Penrith Panthers, as Nathan Fisher, I don't know how he got that ball there, but what an incredible take. The Panthers have gotten off to a good start here, and the Eels will be wanting to really stop that start, so to say, as Bradford takes a hit up here, and the Eels will be looking very, very tired already in defense.
Yeah, well, it's been a very quick-paced game so far from both teams. It's been end-to-end footy. As Crutcher goes for the 40-20, it looks pretty good.
Has it got the bounce? I don't think it has, as Michael Crimp with the kick return. Looked dangerous there. Brodie Kennedy, the number 6 tonight, wrapping him up. Demando goes to Atchison. Atchison taking up the hit up. 35 out from their own try line here, the Parramatta Eels. Luke Short through the line. Can't get away from... I can't tell who that is. Is that the Nathan Fisher, the fill-in fullback, so to speak, as Cherry Evans takes a hit up of his own now. And it's the 4th tackle. They're about 30 out from the opposition try line. Butler goes to Senendag. Can't quite get away from the likes of Lachlan Sinclair. And Atchison. Oh, and it's gone off the chest of Luke Short, it looked like. And that's a critical knock-on the last tackle from the Parramatta Eels.
Yeah, that one's disappointing there from the Eels. They've had a few opportunities now in Penrith's attacking zone, and they haven't been able to produce much. Haven't thrown much at them, and that one hurts. The Parramatta Eels will not be happy with that.
Indeed they will, as Marshall Edwards taking a run. Marshall Edwards proving to be quite a good player already. He absolutely dominated in that fullback role for the Mines just last season, then being drafted first with the Panthers having the first pick. It has been absolutely a great pick so far, already making his way into the starting side.
Yeah, well, he looks dangerous, and I tell you what, his older brother, Isaac Edwards, he better be looking out, because there might be a top Edwards in the house soon. I think Marshall's on a good trajectory to become one of the better wingers.
I'd have to agree with that statement, mate. As Blake Harris passes it to Barisic, I'm just trying to find some statistics for Marshall Edwards here. Hang with us a second as we find that he is not included in the team list, apparently. There we go. As Mendonca plays the ball now. Sentendag. Atchison goes to Butler. It's it wide out to Barisic. He's also been a pretty good rookie so far. Atchison goes again to Russell. Alistair Russell in the second row this week, as he has been starting, as is the norm. Downey can't quite get around his player there, his marking player, and I think it's Robbie Elms. And Swarm. Harris putting up a big kick here. Batted back to Downey. Downey can't get away from the Panthers' defense. And that is crucial from the Panthers. There's been great defense there as Tim Ball gets a good starting run. How about that, Jack?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, the Penrith defense has been absolutely superb at the moment. It's been Eels have had 4 or 5 chances now up that end, and Penrith have shut them down every single time. And now they're in great attacking position. Penrith are playing some really good footy here.
Indeed they are, as Bradford with a very strong run through the middle. Wow, Sean Bradford looking very, very confident there. And the Panthers are looking dangerous as they play the ball in the last just 10 out from the opposition try line. It's going to go to Kennedy. Brodie Kennedy puts up a big bomb and it's taken very comfortably with Cherry Evans there.
I tell you what, it was a decent kick, but I don't think the chasers were quite ready. They seemed a little bit delayed there, and the kick chase was just allowed the fullback to get an easy grab at the ball there.
Looks like a bit of miscommunication there, and it was quite a deep kick. Not exactly what you want to be giving to the likes of Cherry Evans, who is very, very confident under the high ball. It's going to be a bit disappointing there for the Penrith Panthers to start off that set, or to finish off that set, sorry. As we have Downey playing the ball here. Russell taking another run. He's dragged back in the tackle, back to his own 50. As Atchison goes to Senendag. Inside ball to Cherry Evans. Can't get away from the number 14, Ollie Pace, I think it was. Sorry, Ollie Pache, I should say. As we go down to the wing of Marshall Edwards, who doesn't get away from Xavier Demando. Xavier Demando very confident in that tackle there. As Fisher breaks one. Can't get away on Cherry Evans, but that's a good run from Nathan Fisher starting off this game at fullback. As we go Mark Lee, Bradford, Kennedy goes deep for Marshall Edwards. Marshall Edwards through the line, and Cherry Evans didn't have the speed, but he's just gotten a hand onto the ankle there. And he's stopped the tackle. Brodie Kennedy, looks like the ball's come off his head there as we go for the fourth tackle, about 35 out from the opposition try line. Markwell steps one. Zen Markwell can't get around Evans. Cherry Evans doing a lot of tackling at the moment. The Penrith Panthers looking very dangerous in attack as Brodie Kennedy puts in a grubber. No chase in sight, and Matt Downey takes that very, very comfortably.
Oh, I tell you what, Penrith looking good at the moment. They defended their backsides off for a while. All the ball was with Parramatta, and now they are just cashing it in on those tired Parramatta forwards. They look really good, Penrith.
Indeed they do, as Parramatta getting out of their own 20 here, and the likes of Justin Barisic. He has been absolutely a phenomenal pickup for the Eels this season. Coming off the bench, he's a very damaging forward. As Cherry Evans is going to play the ball. He's had a fair few runs tonight, that man, Cherry Evans. As it's Charlie Butler now with the 40-20 attempt, and he's got it! And what a play that is from Charlie Butler. Wow, and you see that the Eels get great field position.
That is massive there from Butler. That is a big play at a big time. They need some points on the board, Parramatta. It was just starting to get away from them with Penrith starting to get in the ascendancy. That has just swung the momentum way back in Parramatta's favour.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal effort from Charlie Butler, realising that the fullback in Nathan Fisher, was out of position. And I think it's Dawson Swarm now. Looks to be gone over the line. He's celebrating. The referee says no try as he sends it up to the bunker. It looks like he's gotten it down. I'm not sure if he's gone out here. And I'll wait to see. As the bunkers come back with the green light, and Dawson Swarm has scored in the left corner. And he's put points on the board for the Parramatta Eels.
Well. I was talking about it. It was a big moment there from Butler. He's gotten his team way back into it, and then a ball out to Dawson Swarm. And in a game where you feel like Penrith have been the better team so far, it looks like it's going to be tied up here as it swings back. He gets it easily and out.
That is a beautiful kick from Charlie Butler. And that, just as you said, that 40-20 from Butler proved absolutely momentous in the Eels getting some points on the board. And now it's all tied up with 6-all. It's Mark Lee looking to start off this next set here. Referee blowing the whistle. And he goes deep, straight down the guts to Cherry Evans, who will offload it to Mount Downey, who will take it up to the 20 there. Geez, the Eels just sparking something out of nothing. How do you think that will look for the rest of the game, Jack?
Oh, I think that's massive, to be honest. Like I said, I think Penrith are really starting to gain the ascendancy. And if Penrith had scored next, they could have definitely put some more points on. I think the fact that Parramatta just beautiful 40-20 from Butler and then a try. I mean, this game's going to be, it's tied up at the moment and it's right back into the swing of things. I think it's massive.
Yeah, and the Penrith Parramatta game is always very close. Obviously, last time they met, it was a 24-22 victory that went the Eels' way, only 2 points in it. The game before that, only being 1 point in it. It's very crucial that the Penrith Panthers get those extra points in any way they can, whether it be field goal, whether it be penalty goals, and making sure that they get all their conversions, because it's only a couple points in it every time these guys meet. As Tim Ball with the ball now, he's going to play it to Lee, who goes to Crutcher. Inside ball, Isaac Edwards. You criticised before Isaac Edwards playing on the centre. Not the best position, you think, Jack?
Yeah, no, and I think we've seen it. I'd be interested to see his halftime stats because he's such a quality player. And I think that's the first time you've called his name. I think the other time we said it was talking about Marshall Edwards. So, that's a beautiful kick.
And Cherry Evans with a bit of a brain fart there. He thought, maybe if I take it now as it bounces in, we'll get the ball at 20 restart. But no, he's taken it before it's gone out. And, geez, that is crucial error there from Cherry Evans.
Wow. I thought that was going dead for certain, and then it bounced back, and Cherry Evans just took it for some reason. And Penrith with another set.
It was a very lucky bounce. I think it was Bradford who was the kicker in that one, Sean Bradford. And, now the Penrith get a chance out of absolutely nothing, which they shouldn't have any right to have. But as Marshall Edwards plays the ball, they're looking very dangerous. Kennedy with the fourth tackle effort there, just about 5 out from the try line. It's going to be the last. Bradford puts in a grubber for Ash Crutcher, who runs onto it. And they have scored on that exact same side as before, and will prove that they get a 10-6 scoreline.
Wow, beautiful little kick there from Sean Bradford. I'm pretty sure he was the one that did that dead ball kick. And 2 back-to-back kicks to get the Panthers 6 more points. And they're probably going to take the lead into halftime.
Yes, and that is the 6th career try for Ash Crutcher, yet to score in this season, scoring 1 last season and 2 in the previous 2 seasons. He's a very good half, and he's proven time and time again that he's done very well. And then you see the likes of Sean Bradford, an unlikely playmaker in the lock position, send him over for his first try of season 4. As we have Charlie Butler here, the Parramatta Eels looking rather, I guess, uncomfortable with the way that they just let points on so easily from the Panthers. They'll be disappointed going into the sheds at half-time, which we're getting very close to. We've seen some elusive plays from both sides, but Penrith being the better side so far in the half. In the second half here coming up, the Eels will be wanting to capitalise on the field position that they've been gifted, and hopefully get some points on the board as we go into the sheds here. And we'll see you in the second half. Welcome back to Simulation Rugby League TV. It's the Penrith Panthers taking on the Parramatta Eels. If you missed our first half, it was a bit of a blockbuster. The Penrith Panthers only coming with 12 points over the Parramatta's Eels 6. As we've got a few changes coming on for the field here. For the Penrith Panthers, it's Ollie Pache, on for Sean Bradford, the man who set up a try just moments ago. Tim Ball on for Ash Turner. Anthony Delaney for Isaac Edwards in the centres. And Cameron Relentless for Lachlan Sinclair in the front row. And as for the Parramatta Eels, it is Matt Downey for Anthony McDonald in the forwards. Justin Barisic for Luke Short in the other prop position. Abraham Walker for Jordan Marshall, just switching it up in the lock there. And Shannon Freeburn switching in centre for Xavier Demando. What do you think of the changes, Jack?
Oh, look, I think both teams provide a lot of spark off that bench. One thing that I find interesting is both of them have subbed off their centres. So it'll be interesting to see where those centres come back on in 20 minutes or so. And maybe they can provide a bit of speed through the middle. And I'm also interested to see how Abraham Walker will play. He was obviously named at 16. We know how good he can be, and I think he's playing at lock now. So those are my two big takeaways from the interchanges. Interested to see how those two go.
Indeed, he is. And we saw in the first half how important the locks in Jordan Marshall and Sean Bradford were. Both of them being switched out in the second half. How do you think that will go for both sides?
Well, I think it's good to give them both a little break. To be honest, I think they both played very well, and they'll come back on in a little bit. So I think that'll be all good.
Great. And as we have Justin Barisic, the man himself, playing the ball, goes deep to Blake Harris, just behind his opposition's 40. As Elms with a good kick return. Elms gets ankle tapped and then wrapped up. I thought he was away for all money there, but he's apparently not, as Relentless now taken on the line. Cameron Relentless, who just switched moments ago for Lachlan Sinclair, is playing in the right prop position. Delaney in the centres, just for Isaac Edwards. And he's going to play the ball. Crutcher to Ball. Tim Ball through the line. Gets wrapped up by Evans. Gets an offload, though. Relentless with a few extra metres for his team. Actually, a fair few extra metres for his team. As we go, Markley to Tim Ball. Tim Ball playing it just before the 20. That's the fifth tackle here as Kennedy puts up a big kick. It looks like it's come off the right side of his boot as Swarm takes it quite comfortably. The last tackle play there, a bit disappointing from the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, look, I think so. I mentioned it earlier after the first kick of the match from Kennedy. I'm not sure he's a 5'8". I'm not sure if he can kick well enough. Obviously, we've seen that one. We had one that was too deep and was caught easily by Cherry Evans, and the one at the start of the game as well. He's muffed up a few kicks now, and I'd be considering not having him there because I don't know if he's the right fit.
Yeah, Brody Kennedy, possibly one of the best fullbacks in the league. You've got the likes of Casey Kane and Chance Bunce, but Brody Kennedy definitely up there, one of the saving graces for the Penrith Panthers. It's just mind-boggling that they've moved him from his position where he's been absolutely killing it with run meterage and tries, scoring 8 last season, and he has 17 career tries, all playing in the fullback position. It's just mind-boggling that he's been moved to 5'8" for this game.
Yeah, and look, I think if you look at what Penrith have done really well in this game so far, it doesn't have to do with the big spine changes, the things like Fisher and Kennedy. It's got to do with all the little ones, with the wingers and the forwards. They're making meters very easily. They're defending well. So I don't see it necessary for them to continue it.
And you talk about the forwards. I think the most significant forward change moving into the front row this week would be Luke Malkus, who scored a try earlier as Kennedy puts in a bit of a grubber kick. Again, not quite the angle he wanted, just coming off the right side of that boot. And, you know, he looked very dangerous again, the Penrith Panthers, but they're just not being able to complete on the last plays. As Downey has the ball now. pushing forward. About 35 out from his own try line. Atchison, Barisic. Another strong run. Gets another 10, 12 metres for his team. And they've got a held-in tackle penalty. I think it was Relentless, Cameron Relentless, giving it away. And that is a shocker from the little bloke playing in the front row.
Yeah, well, that's going to help Parramatta a lot. Penrith again, just had 2 sets to start the match in Parramatta's 20, and now Parramatta get a chance to return serve.
Wow. Oh, and he puts him on his bum. Jeez, Relentless. Absolutely destroying the Eels front rower there. And he's actually split him in half. I didn't see that one coming. As the Eels push on forward in their campaign to get towards the try line. Atchison goes wide to Harris, to Butler. Butler can't get the ball away. It's the 4th tackle. 10 out here. Brody Kennedy at marker. He's offside. Harris doesn't get the pass away. Chooses to take it himself. Maybe the best option considering the swarm defense there. Abraham Walker putting in a kick. It's quite shallow. And it's batted back for Atchison. No one's there. Atchison cleans up the loose ball, and that's a change over there.
Yeah, well, that was a bit disappointing from Parramatta. If Cherry Evans was in position there, we see that play so often in the SRL, it usually results in a try. So Cherry Evans will be a bit disappointed there that he wasn't in position to take that one.
Indeed, we do see it a lot in the SRL. Perhaps the most efficient user of that play is the man Sam Herban, that we've seen him do that countless times. As Fisher taking up a run here with Oli Pache. Pushing. Can't quite get to the opposition's 40. Lee to Kennedy to Markwell. Markwell stepping one, left foot inside of the Eels' defence. It's going to be the last about 30 out. As Kennedy puts in a kick. It's a bit better, that one, to Michael Crimp. Michael Crimp wrapped up by the kicker. Brody Kennedy. That was very... Oh, no, sorry. It looks like it was actually Nathan Fisher that's wrapped him up there. Very lucky play there as Michael Crimp yet to score in this season. Looking dangerous off kick returns.
Oh, boy. As a Season 3 Bronco, my eyes are light up every time I see Crimp touch the ball. I think he just needs a try. I think he needs one and the floodgates will open. He was an absolute cult hero, and Crimp, he's amazing. I think he will get a try sometime this season, and when he does, it's going to open up.
And you'd have to argue that it may very well be tonight that Michael Crimp gets a try. As Blake Harris puts in a big kick for Robbie Elms. Robbie Elms through the line. Robbie Elms. It's a foot race between Cherry Evans and Elms. Cherry Evans wraps him up. He wins that one for now. Elms playing it at the 35. That's a great run from the winger. Relentless now, pushing forward, gets another 10 metres for his team. It's going to be Mark Lee with the ball, goes right to Crutcher, playing halfback. Oh, and he's dropped the ball, and it's Alistair Russell now. Oh, and he's taken his head off, I think. It was Ash Crutcher there with the high tackle. And that's another crucial penalty from the Panthers.
Yeah, well, again, Penrith just inviting Parramatta into their half. Parramatta haven't been good enough to capitalise on it yet, but Penrith can't keep doing this because it will eventually happen. They make an error, then they give away a penalty. They just need to calm themselves. Penrith are obviously the better team in this match. They just need to calm down.
Atchison through the line. Good run from dummy half. Like he's going to play it about 8 out here. As Butler goes to Senendag, driven back in the tackle. Mark Lee helping out his teammate Lachlan Martin, I think it was. As Abraham Walker now with the ball. Abraham Walker looking very close to the line. I think he may have gotten it down here. Referee's going to send it upstairs. He's got to try. I can't quite see the ball on that shot. It looks like it may be over the line. And there we have it. I think it'll get the green light here. And that's Abraham Walker coming on for Jordan Marshall. And you think that he gets his kick and ties up the game, Jack.
Yeah, well, I was just mentioning it. They can't keep doing this, Penrith. Both times now, they've invited Parramatta into their half. Parramatta have scored. It's all locked up again. Penrith should be miles ahead of this game. They've really got to be better with inviting Parramatta back into their half.
Indeed, they have. They looked a bit desperate down the other end when they got that good run off Robbie Elms. They just needed to cool themselves down a little bit. What do you think that the captain will be saying after that try?
I think it's that sentiment exactly. I think the captain will be pretty disappointed. I think he'll feel like they should be up by a lot more. I mean, they haven't had a whole lot of opportunities compared to Parramatta, so I think he'll be pretty disappointed that when they do have those opportunities, they haven't been capitalizing, and then furthermore, giving Parramatta a beautiful ball.
Indeed, Parramatta, absolute killer with the field position. You can't be letting them in. Obviously, not being in the form for the last 2 seasons or so, and definitely not in the form that they followed in season 1, winning the premiership. But you can't be given that kind of field position because even though they haven't got the players that they had back then, in the likes of Tim James, they are still deadly in their system and how they train their players, especially in the likes of Charlie Butler, who kicks it inside his own 40 here. He'll look for a bounce, gets the wrong way, and Nathan Fisher runs into touch.
I think Fisher was just trying to get around the winger there, but he took a few extra steps, more than he should have. He just needed to stop and pull himself back, and Butler has produced another result.
He indeed has. And it looks like Nathan Fisher was running into the crowd. Maybe he saw something that he liked in the food. He's actually run into the touchy there, almost taken him out, and that is a crucial error from the Penrith Panthers.
I'm thinking he wanted a beer or something. Must have been a beer in the crowd.
There you go, Nathan Fisher loving a good beer mid-game as we have Alistair Russell, the man in the second row, taking up a hit up as Blake Harris, one of his own. He's been pretty good tonight, Blake Harris, in his running. His kicking game definitely improved from the former weeks as the Parramatta Eels looking to push on. And he's wrapped up there by Oli Pache and Mendonca, yet to score in this season. No, sorry, rather not yet to score. He's scored 2 already. And Atchison putting up a big kick. It's looking very high and mighty. And Evans has come from nowhere and he's put it down right beneath the posts.
Well, we saw an earlier play that looked exactly like that, except it was a tap back and Evans wasn't there. This time he said, forget the tap back. I'm just going to go catch it myself. And he does it beautifully.
That is a great play from Cherry Evans in the fullback jumper tonight. And Marshall Edwards coming off his wing to try and take that high ball, not quite having the experience. And when you haven't got the experience and you're coming up against a fullback like Cherry Evans who gets under the high ball and he's really good in those sorts of contests, you can't help but wonder, what can the rookie do in that situation?
Yeah, well, this has got to hurt for Penrith. Being down by 6 points, they've been really bad with giving Parramatta all the opportunities they want. They just have not put any applied pressure on them at all. And it's they've just basically given them all 3 tries at this point.
Indeed, it's been a disappointing first 20 minutes of this second half here for the Penrith Panthers. Looking very strong in that first half. Perhaps the interchanges that we discussed as they ran on just moments ago at the start of the half. Maybe that's proven to be a crucial decision in this half.
Yeah, well, I think now the decision to play Kennedy and Fisher as the 6 and 1 is starting to show up. I think there's been a few poor decisions on last plays for Kennedy, and there's been a few times where a player's been able to get over the top of Fisher. So I think they've really got to have a look at that, Penrith.
Here they do is Charlie Butler with a kick now down to the wing of Marshall Edwards. Edwards stepping one. Marshall Edwards through the line. He's looking better this time. Marshall Edwards, he gets rid of Cherry Evans. He's at the 20, at the 10. Shut the gate. He's put it down.
Well, Marshall Edwards gets the Penrith Panthers back into the game with a beautiful try. It'll be all tied up now. I said it earlier, Isaac, you better watch out. Your brother's coming for your top spot.
And Marshall Edwards is his first SRL try. Congratulations, young fella. You've entered the Hall of Fame with absolute excellent full-length efforts. Jeez, what a try from the speedster. We spoke about his speed in the minds quite frequently. We spoke about his speed in the emerging game where he played for Australia, and we spoke about his speed coming into the round 1, and hasn't he proven it there, just getting around the fullback in Cherry Evans, and no one was anywhere near touching him.
He is very, very quick, but I'd like to know his speed stat actually, because he just burned everyone instantly. There was quite a few players around him, and he managed to get past all of them.
Yes, he did. We'll have a look at his team stats, his speed stat in a second here. As reportedly, it says that his speed stat is actually at a 92.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it indeed. Yet not the fastest player in the team, with the likes of Robbie Elms and Nathan Fisher both having 99 speeds. You gotta argue that was just a great play from him and a great individual effort.
Yeah, it really was. And on those two are also very, very quick. And Elms, he's been the one making those breaks in the first 2 games. That's a big moment there, that penalty.
Jeez, and they hold down Nathan Fisher. And they're not taking the 2 here. I think they've learnt from their previous mistakes playing Parramatta late in the game, taking the 2.
No! No. That is appalling for Penrith. How have they done that?
It was the far side touchy making that call there, and I think he's got a right. I have to agree. That is shocking from the Penrith Panthers, and the Eels have just been let off the hook.
Wow, that summarises this game. Absolutely summarises this game. Penrith with a beautiful opportunity there to take back the lead, and they throw it forward off the tap.
Wow. Oh, and that's a poor kick there from the Eels. And the Penrith Panthers would play it just beyond the 40 as Kennedy goes right to Sinclair, looking very disappointed in themselves in that previous. They'll be looking to make up for it, especially for the fans who must have been absolutely devastated at that. As Fisher now, Nathan Fisher, he's been pretty good tonight at fullback. Wouldn't quite go as far to say a masterstroke from the captain, Lachlan Martin, but very near to it. Oh, and they've thrown an intercept to Charlie Butler. And the Eels just off the hook again.
Yeah, just really disappointing from Penrith. It's becoming a little bit embarrassing. They just need to calm themselves. They should be winning this game by so much, and yet every time they're in field position, they just do something stupid.
Indeed they do. They need to be using their forwards and the like of Luke Malchus and just taking up the hard hits. Oh, and they've dropped someone. Eagles appealing that they didn't even have the ball. Referee says play on. As Evans steps one, can't get around another. And the likes of Lachlan Martin, I think it was. Going to play the ball as Butler puts it down, banks it down to the wing of Robbie Elms. Steps one, Elms, it's a full race. Cherry Evans cutting across. Elms, he gets around him, and Elms shut the gate. There's the other winger going in.
First Marshall Edwards, then Robbie Elms. He saw Edwards do it and he wanted a piece of the action. Butler's kicking's been good all night, but that's just straight down the throat of Elms. He takes off and there's no one that can stop him.
Wow, and Robbie Elms showing off his speed. Both the wingers proving that they've got some to burn. And that is a great play from the other winger, number 5, Robbie Elms.
Well, you talk about wing combinations. I think Penrith have a really underrated combination. I think Robbie Elms, he's done it numerous times. He's very good on those kick returns, and we've spent the whole game praising Marshall Edwards. So I think they've got one of the better wing combos.
Indeed, you do. And you look at the player that's marking him, being Thomas Mendonca, and you think, how did you let that happen? Because Mendonca, obviously a tried and tested winger, a very solid winger, but yet only coming away with a 77 speed to compare against the likes of Robbie Elms that has a 99. Do you just think that's a bit of a lopsided matchup?
Yeah, well, if you look at Parramatta's win combo, they're up there too. But I think that's the big difference. I think it is speed. Crimp, not sure what his speed stat is, but I'm pretty sure it'd be up there. And Mandonka just not enough
We're looking at the
to
stats
catch
here
Elms.
for the Eels, and we have Michael Cribb with an 89, the fastest player in the team. Cherry Evans only with a 77 as well. You'd
Oh
be,
wow!
I don't know, like that is a
I think
very
I think if
mismatched
I was
side.
yeah, I think if I was the Eels captain, I'd be telling my outside backs to put a bit more into speed.
Indeed, you would. That's just wow. That is beyond me. I didn't know anything of the sort. And even Cherry Evans, the fullback, only with the 77 speed. No wonder that these kick returns are getting through so easily.
Yeah.
As we have Freeburn, the rookie himself, playing in the right centres, taking up a hit up. Blake Harris now with the ball. Rookie 5'8". He's been playing pretty confidently tonight. Demando to Butler. Goes to Tillis Centendag. Gonna play the ball. Just 40 out. McDonald, Anthony McDonald pushing forward. They'll be wanting something special in this last play here. As there's 6 behind, about 5 minutes to go. Xavier Demando can't get around any defense there. Don't know why they've done that there. And that is the last tackle. They're going to switch it up. Switch it over. Fisher through the line. Nathan Fisher. He's been very good tonight, actually, now. I'd go as far to say. In the fullback jersey. As for Brody Kennedy in the 5'8", can't say the same as Luke Malchus. Almost gets away from the Parramatta Eels. Can't quite get away there. I didn't see who it was. As Lachlan Martin. Getting my Penriths mixed up here. Plays the ball. Goes out the wide to Marshall Edwards. Can he get a double? It looks like he can. He's put it down. The referee's going to go upstairs to check the grounding. He's got no try. And it looks like Marshall Edwards has scored a double against Charlie Butler there. And there you go, young man. Not only did you get your first try in round 3, but you got your first career double.
Yeah, he's had a bloody good game, hasn't he? And he's just probably sealed the win there for Penrith. We've seen some crazy things happen in the SRL, but with only 4 minutes left on the clock, I don't think Parramatta are going to have a chance. Great job from Marshall Edwards to get a double on his 3rd game in the SRL.
And I have to say, congratulations to the Penrith Panthers. They've finally beaten the losing streak, and they've beaten the very team that put them in that position in the first place, the Parramatta Eels. A big congratulations to Lachlan Martin, the skipper, who's he's gone for something different, noticing that the Parramatta Eels are a weakened team, and he's swatched up the team list to put them in the best possible position.
It's very poetic, isn't it? Obviously, Season 2, Round 6, Penrith lost against Parramatta, 11 games on. They beat Parramatta and break their losing streak.
Very poetic indeed. As you see the man, Lachlan Martin there with a big old smile on his face. The bench players shaking hands, congratulating each other. The coaching staff and the trainers very pleased with themselves indeed, as Fisher gets driven back in the tackle. Not that he'd care with the performance that he's put on tonight. Crutcher now just taking easy tackles, not risking the ball anywhere wide. And it's going to be Mark Lee, last tackle here. And they've knocked it on the last tackle, but never mind, because Atchison gets brought down. I think that's fitting.
The story of the night.
I think that we were singing their praises, and then they do that. And Demando through the middle. The Eels never saying die here. They've got a minute left. I very much doubt. I'll be very surprised if they score 2 converted tries, as Attila Senedag's dragged in on the 4th tackle. As Atchison goes right to Evans. He goes to Crimp. Crimp stepping one, can't get around the other. We've got 30 seconds left. It's the 5th tackle. Freeburn to Short. Luke Short putting up a big kick. And it's going to be taken comfortably by Nathan Fisher. And that is going to be the game.
Yikes, I don't know about that kick. That was I get that it's the last play of the match, essentially. Or second last play of the match, but that wasn't the kick.
And the fat lady sings. It's all smiles here for the home side. The Penrith Panthers winning their first game since season 2, round 6, which was against the Eels. They lost 19-18, and they've come off with a 12-point victory over them this time. What a game from the Penrith Panthers. If we look at some of the stats, Marshall Edwards scoring a double in only his 3rd game in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. Robbie Elms, his other winger, getting on. Luke Malchus starting off the scoring early in the game, and Ash Crutcher with one of himself off a Samuel Atchison kick. Likewise, we have Swarm, Dawson Swarm, I believe it is. Yeah, Dawson Swarm. Cherry Evans off a good high ball, and Abraham Walker scoring one for his own. All conversions kicked. And we look at some of the run meters here, and you've got to admit that Marshall Edwards and Robbie Elms tying in run meters to the exact meter. Both wingers having an absolute cracker of a game. And Mark Lee with 26 tackles. They've had some great defensive efforts here, Penrith, even though they made some errors in defense, but they've had some great, haven't they, Jack?
Yeah, well, you look at the tackles that they made. I think they made almost 200 tackles. That's 50 more than Parramatta made. So that's kind of insane considering the scoreline. And I think the Eels are pretty disappointed that they couldn't get over the line more. They had a few players that threatened the Penrith line, but overall they didn't really put too much out there.
Yes, and we'll look at the Eels stats in a moment. As we have Cherry Evans with 6 line breaks, very confident indeed. Samuel Atchison getting 272 run meters and 22 tackles for himself. Blake Harris with a great game of 290 kick meters. And a couple of try assists to Brodie Kennedy for the Panthers. It was just an incredible game from the Panthers, and I think that Lachlan Martin, the captain, will be very happy with that. Alas, we're out of time as we go to look at the highlights. You've been watching the SRL TV. Penrith Panthers taking on the Parramatta Eels. They're going by and have a good night, everyone.